You wake up every single morning with two options. Either you run your day or your day runs you. And the difference between those two realities comes down to one thing: clarity. If you don't prioritize your daily goals, life will do it for you. And guess what? Life doesn't care about your dreams, your growth, or your purpose. It will distract you, pull you in every direction, and leave you exhausted at the end of the day, wondering why nothing ever changes. You have to stop drifting through your days on autopilot and start making conscious choices about where your energy goes. Because here's the truth: your brain loves comfort, but comfort kills progress. The reason most people never achieve their goals isn't because they're not capable, it's because they spend their energy reacting instead of creating. They wake up, grab their phone, scroll endlessly, check emails, respond to everyone else's demands, and by the time they finally focus on themselves, the day's over. If you want to change your life, you have to take control of your mornings, your energy, and your priorities. And the best way to do that is to get radically clear about what matters most today, not tomorrow, not next week, not someday. Today, ask yourself this question every morning: what are the 3 most important things I need to get done today that will move me closer to the life I want? That's it. 3 things, not 30. Because if you try to do everything, you end up doing nothing that truly matters. And here's the part most people don't tell you: prioritizing your goals isn't just about writing a to-do list. Anyone can make a list. It's about aligning your actions with your vision. If you say your health matters, but you never schedule time to move your body, guess what? It doesn't matter to you. If you say you want to build a business, but you spend 3 hours watching Netflix every night, you're lying to yourself. Harsh, maybe. But it's the truth. You don't get what you want. You get what you prioritize. And yes, it's going to feel uncomfortable at first. Your brain will fight you. It will whisper excuses. I'm too tired. I'll do it later. One more episode. That's not your intuition. That's resistance. You've got to override it. The next time you catch yourself procrastinating, count backward, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move. The second you take action, momentum kicks in, and momentum is everything. When you start showing up for your priorities every single day, something shifts inside you. You begin to trust yourself again. You start believing in your ability to create results. That confidence compounds, and over time you transform into someone unstoppable. Not because life got easier, but because you got focused. Your future is built in these tiny, seemingly insignificant daily choices. Prioritize your goals today and you change your reality tomorrow. And if you want to look back a year from now and barely recognize your life, it starts with deciding right now what deserves your time, your energy, and your attention today. When you wake up in the morning, the very first thing your brain craves is clarity. It's not motivation. It's not inspiration. It's not energy. It's clarity. And yet, most people start their day with 0 plan, 0 direction, and 0 intention. That's why so many of us feel stuck, overwhelmed, or like we're running in circles. Here's the truth. If you don't decide what matters most to you today, the world will decide for you, and it will never choose what's best for you. Life will always pull you in 100 different directions if you let it. Your inbox, your notifications, your problems, other people's demands, they will steal your focus before you've even had your first sip of coffee if you don't take control. Clarity is power. It's what separates people who achieve extraordinary things from those who spend years feeling frustrated and unfulfilled. And I want you to really let this sink into. You cannot hit a target you can't see. That means you can't create progress without being crystal clear on what you're working toward today. It's not about having a perfect 5-year plan or figuring out every detail of your future. It's about waking up and knowing what matters right now, one day at a time, one priority at a time, one decision at a time. You've got to stop giving your attention to everything and start giving it to the few things that actually move you forward. This is why most people stay stuck. They confuse being busy with being productive. They wake up, check their phone, respond to every email, scroll through social media, say yes to everyone who needs something, and by the end of the day, they've done everything for everybody else and absolutely nothing for themselves. And then they wonder why they feel drained and unaccomplished. The problem isn't that you don't have enough time. The problem is that you're not being intentional with the time you already have. Imagine starting your day differently. Instead of letting life happen to you, you take 5 quiet minutes every morning to decide what matters most. You sit down with your journal, your phone, or even a sticky note, and you ask yourself one simple question: what 3 things, if I accomplish them today, will make me feel proud, fulfilled, and closer to the life I want? That's it. No complicated systems, no endless to-do lists, just 3 priorities. When you give yourself clarity like that, you give your brain a plan, and when your brain has a plan, it stops spiraling in overwhelm and starts moving in action. And here's the beautiful part: when you gain clarity, you gain confidence, because every time you decide what matters and actually follow through, you build trust in yourself. That trust compounds. It makes you stronger, it makes you more decisive, it makes you unstoppable. You start each day with energy instead of anxiety, direction instead of distraction, focus instead of chaos. You stop letting the world dictate your worth and start defining it for yourself. When you live without clarity, life feels heavy. Every decision feels hard. But when you wake up and know exactly where you're going, every action you take carries purpose. That purpose fuels momentum. And momentum is everything. Because the truth is, it's not the giant leaps that change your life. It's the small, intentional steps you take every single day. Those steps stack up. They create progress, and progress creates fulfillment. Here's what you need to understand. Focus is not something you magically wake up with. It's a skill, and like any skill, it has to be practiced every single day. Most people don't struggle with a lack of time. They struggle with a lack of focus. They scatter their energy across 100 different tasks, jump from one thing to the next, and wonder why they feel exhausted but unaccomplished at the end of the day. The hard truth is this: you cannot do everything, and you shouldn't try to. If you want to feel fulfilled, productive, and in control of your life, you have to stop being busy and start being intentional. Every single day, there are only a handful of things that truly matter. And yet most people let those few important things get buried under endless distractions, texts, emails, meetings, notifications, and other people's demands. You get pulled in 1,000 directions, and before you know it, the day is over, and you're left wondering, where did the time go? That's why you have to set your priorities first thing in the morning. You have to decide what deserves your attention before the world tries to hijack it. Here's what I want you to do: stop thinking about your day as a list of 100 tasks and start thinking about it as a game of focus. You get 3 moves. That's it. If you can accomplish 3 significant things today, you win. Those 3 things should be directly tied to your bigger goals, the ones that actually move you forward in life and make you proud at the end of the day. They could be work-related, personal, or even emotional. Maybe one of them is finishing that proposal, another is hitting the gym, and the third is having that hard but necessary conversation you've been avoiding. The point is, you choose them deliberately, and once you do, they become non-negotiable. Now, here's the tricky part: your brain will fight you on this. The second you start focusing on your priorities, distractions will come knocking. Your phone will buzz. Someone will need something urgent, and that little voice in your head will whisper, "Just check Instagram real quick." But if you want to build the life you've been dreaming about, you have to learn to say no, not just to other people, but to yourself. Discipline isn't about restriction, it's about freedom. Every time you say no to something that doesn't matter, you're saying yes to what does. That's how you reclaim your focus. Think about this: successful people aren't smarter than you, and they don't have more time than you. They've just mastered the ability to protect their attention. They understand that where focus goes, energy flows. If you spread your energy thin across meaningless tasks, you'll feel drained and stuck. But if you channel that energy into the things that truly matter, you create momentum, and momentum is what builds confidence, success, and happiness. And let me tell you, this isn't just about productivity, it's about self-respect. When you set priorities and follow through on them, you're proving to yourself that your time, your goals, and your dreams matter. You're no longer living on autopilot or letting the world dictate your day. You're taking control. You're making choices that align with the person you want to become. That builds an unshakable trust within yourself, the kind of trust that makes you unstoppable. The truth is, you don't rise by doing more, you rise by doing what matters. You don't get ahead by cramming your day full of random tasks. You get ahead by identifying the few things that actually move the needle and committing to them no matter what. Focus isn't about perfection, it's about clarity, consistency, and courage. Clarity to know what matters, consistency to keep showing up, and courage to block out everything else that tries to steal your attention. Here's the thing most people get wrong about success. They think it happens in big dramatic moments like landing the dream job, getting that promotion, buying the house, or finally starting the business. But that's not how real change works. Success isn't built in the grand gestures, it's built in the tiny, consistent, Unglamorous choices you make every single day, those small actions, the ones you think don't matter, are the ones shaping your future right now. And if you're not intentional about them, you're on autopilot, drifting further and further away from the life you actually want. Think about it. Brushing your teeth once doesn't do anything. Going to the gym one time won't change your body. Reading a single page of a book won't make you smarter. But doing those small things consistently, that's where the magic is. It's not about the one massive push, it's about the quiet, repetitive effort that compounds over time. It's like planting seeds. You can't plant them today and expect a full-grown tree tomorrow. You water them, you nurture them, and little by little, they grow into something bigger than you imagine. That's how habits work. That's how transformation happens. But here's why most people fail. They underestimate the power of small actions. They want instant results, and when they don't see them, they quit. They tell themselves, what's the point? This isn't working. But the truth is, change is always working. It just doesn't show up overnight. Every time you make one tiny choice that aligns with your goals, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. You're training your brain, your body, and your mindset to believe in a new identity. Let me give you an example. Let's say your goal is to write a book. That sounds overwhelming, right? But what if you committed to writing just one page every day? That's 365 pages in a year. You'd have your book done, no pressure, no chaos, no burnout, just small, consistent action. The same applies to fitness, relationships, finances, and even your mental health. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about doing one thing consistently over time. Here's the catch. Though your brain is wired to resist change, it wants comfort. It wants routine. It wants to stay exactly where you are because that feels safe. So when you decide to do something new, even something small, your brain will fight you. That's when the excuses start. I'll start tomorrow. I'm too tired. It won't make a difference. And if you listen to those excuses, you'll stay stuck exactly where you are. That's why you need to make your small actions non-negotiable. Don't debate with yourself. Don't overthink it. Just do it. When the alarm goes off, get out of bed. When it's time to work, focus. When it's time to move your body, move it. You can't wait to feel motivated. Motivation is unreliable. What you need is momentum, and momentum only comes from action. Here's the best part. Small actions don't just change your results. They change you. Every time you follow through on a promise you made to yourself, you build trust. You start to believe that you're capable, disciplined, and resilient. That belief is powerful because it makes you unstoppable. Once you trust yourself, you no longer need external validation. You stop chasing perfection and start embracing progress. So stop underestimating the power of small, consistent choices. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to begin. The perfect moment is right now. If you want to change your life, don't start by trying to do everything at once. Start by doing one thing today that your future self will thank you for. That's how you build real confidence. That's how you create lasting change. Here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Distractions are destroying your life. And I'm not just talking about scrolling through social media or binge watching shows. I'm talking about every single thing you allow to pull your attention away from what actually matters. Every time you stop focusing on your goals to check notifications, answer unnecessary calls, or get lost in someone else's drama, you're literally handing over your time, your energy, and your future to things that don't deserve it. And the scariest part, most people don't even realize they're doing it. They think they're busy, but they're not productive. There's a huge difference. When you set daily goals, you're making a promise to yourself. You're saying, this matters, this is what I'm working toward. But distractions, they don't care about your promises. They don't care about your dreams. They exist for one reason: to keep you comfortable and stuck. And here's where most people sabotage themselves. They underestimate just how much power distractions hold over them. You think checking your phone for just 5 minutes isn't a big deal, but you know what happens? Those 5 minutes turn into 30. That 30 turns into an hour. Before you know it, your day's gone, your energy's drained, and you've done absolutely nothing that moves you forward. And you keep telling yourself the same lie. I'll start tomorrow, but you won't. Because tomorrow those same distractions will be waiting for you. They don't magically disappear. If you don't learn to control them, they will control you. It's that simple. You want to know why distractions are so powerful? Because they give you a temporary escape. It feels good to scroll. It feels good to gossip. It feels good to do the easy thing instead of the hard thing. Your brain is wired to chase pleasure and avoid discomfort, and distractions feed right into that wiring. But here's the thing, the life you want isn't built in comfort, it's built in focus, discipline, and consistency. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're driving on a highway toward your dream life. Every distraction you allow into your day, every unnecessary conversation, every notification you check, every pointless argument you engage in, it's like taking random exits off that highway. You're slowing yourself down, rerouting your journey, and in some cases, you're even heading backward. You can't expect to get where you want to go if you keep taking detours that don't serve you. So, what do? You set boundaries. You start protecting your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. You turn off the notifications. You put the phone down. You stop saying yes to things that drain you. You start saying no without apology. You cut out the noise so you can hear your own thoughts. And you stop letting other people's priorities replace your own. Here's what happens when you get intentional about your focus. You move faster, you get more done in less time. You stop wasting energy on meaningless tasks and start investing it where it actually matters. And you build confidence, because every time you protect your focus, you prove to yourself that your goals matter. You stop living reactively and start living deliberately. The people who succeed in life aren't the smartest. They're not the most talented. They're the ones who know how to protect their attention. They're the ones who wake up every day, decide what matters most, and commit to seeing it through no matter what distractions come knocking. They know that focus is the ultimate superpower in a world addicted to noise. You need to understand something. Every single time you give in to distractions, you're choosing instant gratification over long-term fulfillment. But when you choose to focus, you're investing in your future self. You're saying, I matter, my goals matter, my time matters, and that shift changes everything. The bottom line is this: if you want to achieve anything meaningful, you have to eliminate distractions with ruthless commitment. You have to make space for the work, the growth, and the actions that actually move the needle. Because if you don't control your focus, something else will, and that something doesn't care about your dreams. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Success isn't about doing one big thing right once in your life. It's about doing the small, simple, consistent actions every single day, even when you don't feel like it. That's where momentum comes from. That's how you build confidence. That's how you change your life. And the problem? Most people wait. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until they're motivated. They wait until the stars align. But let me tell you something. If you keep waiting, you'll stay stuck exactly where you are. Momentum is built by moving, period. It doesn't matter how small the step is. What matters is that you take it. And once you start, something incredible happens. You activate this powerful feedback loop between your actions and your confidence. You stop thinking, I need to feel good before I act. Instead, you realize, I act first, and that's what makes me feel good. This is the game changer. Think about it like this: every single day you have a choice. You can either move toward your goals or away from them. There's no standing still, because time doesn't stop. Every decision you make compounds. Every skipped workout compounds. Every wasted hour compounds. Every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow, guess what? Tomorrow becomes today, and you're still in the same place. But the opposite is also true. Every small win compounds. Every single time you choose to get up, to focus, to take one tiny step forward, it builds on itself. That's momentum. You know what destroys momentum faster than anything else? Overthinking. You sit there debating, analyzing, planning every little detail, and while you're busy thinking about taking action, someone else out there is actually doing it. The longer you hesitate, the harder it gets to start. And I know this firsthand. The moment you push yourself to just start, no matter how messy, imperfect, or uncomfortable it feels, your brain stops fighting you. You create proof for yourself that you can do hard things. That's how momentum grows. But here's the uncomfortable truth: you're not always going to feel motivated. In fact, most days you won't, and that's okay. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. If you're waiting for motivation to show up before you act, you're going to waste years of your life. What you need is discipline, and discipline comes from momentum. When you consistently show up for yourself, even on the days when you don't want to, you're teaching your brain a powerful message: I can trust myself. That trust creates self-respect. And self-respect fuels unstoppable momentum. Here's the part nobody talks about. Momentum isn't built on giant leaps. It's built on stacking tiny victories day after day. You don't have to climb the entire mountain today. You just have to take the next step, send the email, drink the water, make the call, show up to the gym, write one page. When you stop obsessing over the finish line and focus on the next actionable step, you stop feeling overwhelmed and start feeling in control. And that shift changes everything. Momentum also thrives on clarity. If you wake up every day without knowing what matters most, you'll spend your energy on distractions that feel urgent but don't actually move you closer to your goals. That's why setting your daily priorities is critical. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing the right things. Once you get clear, you can channel all your energy into actions that create results, instead of scattering it on meaningless tasks that keep you spinning your wheels. And let's be real, momentum is contagious. When you start showing up consistently, people around you notice, you start believing in yourself more. Opportunities